Hi everyone. In this video I would like to talk about a problem that we have in many universities nowadays. Especially I will talk about Italian universities because I have lived in Italy for over 29 years, so you can guess my age. The problem in our society nowadays, especially for universities, is that even if you study for a specific field, for example engineering or mathematics or physics or other fields, social sciences, natural sciences, you are led along a specific path. You search for a job and then you work 9 to 5, basically, if that's enough, because some other times you will work more than that. And the average salary in Italy is about 1,500 euros, something like that. The average salary has not increased over the last 30 plus years. There was a recent study outlining this sort of problem, because this is a problem. It's not just about the salary and increasing your life standards. It is also about the fact that with increasing inflation and increasing costs of life as a consequence, it is very difficult for a family to survive. It seems like that even if you pursue a career or a path, you're basically quote-unquote slave to that path, because you don't have much of a choice sometimes. You just have to work like that, and you have to follow orders from somebody else. You have to follow somebody else's dream. What I realized is that even if you have skills, you should try to be somewhat entrepreneurial, because otherwise chances are that you should settle for low standards of living. And that's not something wrong, and I have nothing against that. I really admire all people who work hard to earn a living. In Italy, unfortunately, you should not believe that if you have a piece of paper in your hands, and that means a degree, be it any kind of degree, you should not be satisfied and consider that a job will be granted or guaranteed, because that's not the way. That's not the way you should think. You should have a different mindset. And when I say you should, I mean also myself, because I have been like that all along, because I have never liked entrepreneurship. I've always been the kind of guy who I'll take whatever comes. I would just like to do something that I like. For example, teaching mathematics, physics, and I love science. I am an engineer, and I also have a PhD in engineering, mechanics and advanced engineering sciences more specifically. And I like thinking about solutions of problems and thinking about the world instead of thinking about what mankind did and all the great things that mankind did, because there are amazing things that mankind managed to create, and they are really outstanding. But I have always been more concerned with nature and thinking about why mathematics, for example, explains our world, because the connection is assumed to be known, right? But there is not a reason for why that should be the case. It's something that's always puzzled me and amazed me. But over the last few years, I have seen that if you do not take action and you let other politicians choose your own path, or the way you should behave, or what is correct and what is not correct, you are allowing other people to choose for you, and you're giving more and more power to those people. I'm not saying that you have to go against the authority and you don't have to go against anybody. But knowledge in different branches of life, such as social sciences or physics, mathematics, philosophy, history, that's very important, history. Because if you don't know anything about history, history is going to repeat itself, and it can repeat also in a bad way. And I have learned it on my skin. Maybe I will say something more about it in the future. I've never been a good speaker because I just improvise, basically. This is just a test for me because I want to try to convey my thoughts. I think that I can share something interesting. I would like to create a connection with people interested and eager to learn, eager to share their thoughts and think about the world that we live in, because the world that we live in nowadays has lots of interesting opportunities. On the other end, something sinister is happening, in my opinion. I cannot really go deeper here. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and I respect people who have different opinions and do not force their opinions upon others. So in this video I just want to highlight some of the problems that universities, especially in Italy, have. Because if you want to choose a career, there is no guarantee that you will get one, even if you're the best in your class, and even if you're the best at university. You have to do something more. You have to be interested in what's happening around you. All the events and situations occurring in your life are also somewhat affected by situations that happen worldwide. And sometimes people do not recognize this or acknowledge the fact that this is the case. And I was one of those persons. But I see that as life unfolds, and new events occur, all the situations that are happening are also affecting my life. Could I have done something different to prevent this? In my opinion, the answer is yes. And I'm not talking about situations or events that are out of your control, okay? Because there are situations that you cannot control. But you can control your choices or your knowledge especially. If you know more about certain situations, the decisions that you can take might be different. So this is just food for thought, it is just something to remind myself to think. So the final message of this video is, if you're living your life, you're doing your job, and you think everything's going fine, don't take anything for granted, because things can change, and you should try to keep building new ideas, cultivate new interests, and be knowledgeable. Study a lot, not just one subject like mathematics or physics, but also other subjects related to how the world is moving forward, okay? Because things can change, and we should try to think deeply about all that's happening and how can we optimize our lives and our community. But also, if you are struggling nowadays, you should try to move forward, strive forward, try to move on and take action, build new knowledge, because that's the beauty of life. It's also the struggle, yes, it's also the struggle. The struggle of life can be beautiful. If you face it and you survive and you move forward, that's when you witness the beauty. That's when you are able to see the beauty, because you did something great that made you take steps forward. That's not to be underestimated. So that was just a brief video, a short video, where I wanted to share some simple thoughts about life. And at first about university and how life changed in Italy, because I live in Italy, remember that. You might have different views, might have a different opinion. Remember that we all have different viewpoints. We have different perspectives because we live different lives, and we should respect each other a lot just because of that. And you can learn a lot from other people's perspectives. So the rant is over. See you in a future video. Bye.